Hello, everyone. I'm Kyra Schaefer, and I'm so super duper excited. We've got our panel discussion, and we are going to be just talking to you about some things around Be Bold, our latest book collaboration with some of the most incredible authors ever. And I've been very blessed and lucky to get to work. First time I've gotten to work with Mel, and I've worked with Yuson multiple times over the last, I guess, what, 3 or 4 years. I think we started in 5 years ago, so it's been quite a ride. And Yuson is still stuck with me. It's what a gift.
You're the gift. I love it.
Yeah, this book is a bit different. I mean, almost all of our collaboration books, unless they're following a theme, tend to be a little bit different and unique and interesting. And I mean, we have a ton of new authors in here too, just like Mel. And I'm just so grateful that I get to be a part of the process of helping people bring their words to the world. And it's also never, ever lost on me that you trust me to do that. So welcome, ladies. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves. Tell the world who you are. And if you want to, you can talk a little bit about your chapter. But I am going to be asking you questions. Mel, go first.
Okay. Well, I'm so happy to be here with both of you and everybody else. And yes, this is my first time. So it was wonderful to, come out as an author. It's something that I've always wanted to do. Well, I have to say, like over the past 10 years. I'm a health and happiness specialist. And how that came about was battling 2 rounds of cancer and esophageal cancer, and also now currently having liver disease because of the radiation that I received. So really big obstacles, and at a young age, 44 years old. So, something it was needed. I needed to find comfort. I needed to find peace. That was the big message that came to me. And first it was mindfulness, and then it was affirmations, and then it was meditation, and then some woman pops up and she's a Reiki master, and she's like, I want to do a Reiki session for you. And I'm like, I have no idea what that is, but I definitely want it. And now I am also a Reiki master, because that's how powerful the healing energy of Reiki was in my recovery. So I just love bringing this all. And previously, I personal trainer, Pilates instructor, became a yoga instructor just recently. So I'm all about mind, movement, and meditation. Those 3 things were the best medicine, the holistic medicine that I could have brought to myself. And then realizing how many people saw me thrive and were so curious of what I was doing and how I was doing it. The beauty of it was, it wasn't just about recovering from cancer. It was about being resilient and learning. We all have it in us. We just have to tap into it and really spark it up. And it was awesome, because people with all kinds of struggles started coming my way, whether it was financial, divorce, parenting issues. A struggle is a struggle, and we need to find those tools within ourselves, first within ourselves, instead of just going and grab all the shiny objects. So being able to find those gifts within ourselves, so that we can then, just bring that comfort and peace to everything outside of us. So that's a little bit about my story and what I wrote about in the book, and also what I'm currently doing. I do a lot of one-on-one sessions I do some small group workshops, and I'm just looking forward to just continuously, sharing and just spreading the word and giving people hope.
I love that. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Mel. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Mel. My name is Yuson Shin, and I am the owner of Shin Healing Arts. I'm an energy healer. I am a Reiki master as well, but I use a whole other litany of like healing modalities, including the Bankston method, which is the only one scientifically tested to cure cancer in mice, and also have them become immune to getting it again. So it's just really fascinating, and I love the science behind it because I'm so analytical. I also do IET, Chinese energy healing. I do clearings and healings through the Akashic records, and karma clearings, and ancestral clearings. There's a lot of stuff that we have in our DNA, and also in the genetic linear, going down many generations, things that we've picked up from our, parents and grandparents. And so getting to clear that is just kind of life-changing for a lot of people. But I'm also very, analytical, and so what grounds me is, having a routine. And for the last, I would say, like 10 years, I was, working the corporate world full time and also doing the healing full time. And so the biggest transition that I'm going through now is letting go of, my identity and my programming in the corporate world, and, seeking my own identity in as just a healer. And that took a lot of courage for me. So, and I know that change isn't always easy for a lot of people. And I just wanted to, say you can bypass some of the old programming that society gives you, that, your parents give you, and, you can fulfill your heart's desire and, create the life that you want. So that's what my chapter is about.
It's so good. Y'all are so good. I mean, I love it. I love it. I just love it because you guys are both exemplary examples of people who have stepped out of what the world says you have to be this way, or the parent says, or and you've got to go and do all the things, and I like the mix. I love the mix of the allopathic, the homeopathic. I don't think that's right. Homeopathic, the energy medicine, the different types of healing modalities, bringing it as a mix to help with a full holistic approach to personal healing. Now, I personally have not been able to find success with the allopathic route for things that I deal with, like anxiety, depression, stuff like that. It was almost as if spirit said, yeah, no, sorry, no free rides for you, lady. Like, you are going hard. You are going hard, and you are got nothing is going to work for you. So I was blessed in that, and it was also really hard having that kind of world around me saying, but this is the right way, and my soul going, but I can't do it that way. And so how am I going to survive? How am I going to go through this life? Also, too, I couldn't hold down a regular job. Like, I could, but I would become a raging alcoholic. I would go downhill fast. I had to own my own business, and so it's been it's just, it's like Yuson, like she's allowing, she's opening up, she's transforming. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to go from corporate to having your own business and working on your own steam and making sure that everything is put together properly and all this stuff. And then somebody that says, I will die don't do it this way. I don't know what the difference is. Both kind of suck. I'll be honest with you. So, but it's just so wonderful to be with people who have chosen to step outside of what's normal and say, you know what? I think there's better things than this. And I do believe that piece where all of a sudden, like Mel says, and then this woman came up to me and is like, I'm going to put my hands on you. Right? Like, how does that kind of stuff happen? I was walking around in a metaphysical store once, not knowing anything that I'm looking at. I'm like, is this voodoo? Is it the devil? Like, I don't know what this is. And I was walking around, and then all of a sudden this woman came from the back room somewhere, and she was like bathed in this light of love and unconditional connection and truth and beauty. And there was like angels flying out from behind her, and it was just like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I need you. Which I think that's what people experience when they meet you two. Like, oh, they have the truth, they have the answer. So, Mel. So, your chapter is called Choose Happy, Not Crappy. So when you have somebody come into your experience where they are struggling to choose happy and all they can see is crappy, what are some things that you do with them or help them understand about their current state to help them shift out of it? I mean, I know it's a lot more than just a kind of quick answer, because this is work. I mean, it's not like a one and done deal. But are there any things, any tips or tools you can help our listeners with?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the strongest thing that I could bring in right off the bat is that the only place that we exist is right here. And our only point of creation is right now. And that, to get that to sit with someone, because we are always in that past, bringing in those past experiences, living from those past experiences. And then that's all just usually, we don't, so for some strange reason, we don't bring in the good stuff. We just
weird, right?
in those dark places. So that just weighs so heavy on us.
Yeah.
And then, so they feel that and they get to feel that and see that and start to understand that that's how they're operating. Mm-hmm. And then the other piece is that they're operating in the future, their imagination. That's not happening. That's what you're saying might happen, but it's not happening. And right here, this is the only place that we can create from, right here, right now. So let's get those squirrels under control because they're nasty little buggers. And that's your anxiety. That's that, that constant, just wanting to, leap out there and fix it when it didn't even happen yet. So our first session is usually a lot of fun because people are just like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. So you've got this dark past and you've got this anxiety of the future. And what are you doing right now? Right here? Mm. Not much. And that was what was, okay, I know. I see a lot of weird things about cancer. That's what was really cool about cancer because boom. Like so like when you said go hard, so I had it once and it was barely cancer. It was esophageal cancer. And I did need a huge surgery to get rid of the cancerous, like it was almost like pre-cancerous. It was so caught early. Yeah. So what did I do? I recovered from this big surgery and I run back into life. And about a year later, I'm like, I think I missed something. Like this is not making any sense. Like I'm just right back where I started.
Wow.
And now I'm just sick because I'm recovering from this surgery that was, moved around. Everything in my stomach was pulled up. So huge adjustments, all that. So now I'm back where I started and I'm in worse shape.
Oh.
So then, oh, boom, let's do this to her again because she's not getting it.
She didn't get it. She didn't get it the first time. Yeah, I know. That's why I keep putting my hand back in the fire of getting a job.
Yeah.
I know.
We need to go big on her. So we're gonna go stage 4. I was like, oh shit. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I have no fucks left. It's fine.
So right there, I was like, oh, I better get this together quick. Like, okay, I learned some stuff. Let's pull that back in and let's learn some more stuff. And in that instant, all I could do was live in that present moment. So in a way, like that horrific diagnosis was a blessing because it brought me to a place that I don't know if I would have ever been able to bring myself on my own. So instantly I was downloaded like boom, right here, right now, dropping. And so that's, just bringing people in front into the awareness of what is actually occurring, whatever struggle that they may be going through, and having them be completely aware of it so that they then can accept the circumstance. Because like a lot of times with cancer, the word fight is used. Fight, fight, fight. I love that word and I love that fight, but if we're constantly fighting, we're not in a good place. We're in that battle. We're on the battlefield. And I was lucky enough to be brought to this place where I felt like I was soaring above it and kind of watching it from above. And I was like, because I was so weak and I was so sick. And I was like, I like it up here. Like, this is so much better than the fight. Like, I like the fairies and the angels and the Reiki lady who. And then I went to restorative yoga and I was like, okay, in an hour and a half, we did 7 poses because each pose we held for so long and we had blankets and bolsters. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. So, just, and so when I first sit down with people and the choose happy, not crappy, I definitely don't just belt that out because most of them want to strangle me. People don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, right. They're like, no, I don't, I'm not ready for that.
Right. And I agree. Like, we need to meet you where you're at. And the biggest way to do that is by bringing awareness and then the acceptance piece into it. Because if you're not aware of it and you're not accepting of it, there's no way you're going to believe that you're going to get out of this. Right. So we have to master those steps first.
So good. That's wonderful. And I definitely invite everybody who listens to this to partner with Mel, partner with Yuson, partner with the other authors. They have their information in the book, which is for free download for just this week, 7th through 11th. And you guys, some of these guys have some free discovery sessions, some other things like that out there. So use them as a resource. These guys know what they're talking about, walking through the flames themselves. It's not like I read it in a book one time and it really hit home. It's no. They've been through the fires of transmutation. Okay. So, and if you're in the fire, you want somebody that's been, hardened to silver and steel and just, you want that person that is like, come on, let's go. We're getting right out of this stuff. Let's do it. So, Mel, that was perfect. Thank you so much. That was really, really good. Yuson.
Yes.
You wrote, and you actually did a one-on-one with Todd interview. Todd is my husband, Todd Schaefer. He is the co-founder of As You Wish Publishing with me. And it was pretty dope. I gotta say. Your chapter is called From Borg to Bold. And so Borg is the reference to Star Trek, the Borg mind, the Borg hive mind. I'll let you kind of explain that because I might just butcher it, but because I'm like, you don't know what that is. Like I'm a bit of a Trekkie, so I'm and so it's just that collective mindset and allowing yourself again to step out of it and say, I want more. And I didn't even know I could have more, but now I'm kind of getting this inkling like I can. And you talked a bit about the generational, ancestral, all that kind of stuff of what it takes to kind of break through the confines. And if you guys know about Borg mind, very hard. Once you're in the Borg, your ass not getting out. Like it takes a lot. So tell us more. And then also to what have you found has been your biggest challenge to leaving the Borg mind? Start there.
Yeah. Okay, good questions. Okay, so cyborgs are actually, a Star Trek invention, and it's all about these half humans, half mechanical beings who are part of a collective, and their goal is to push the collective forward, right? So it's not about individuality. It's how bees work. And we're oftentimes programmed from birth to death to follow what's good for everybody. And what's good for everybody might not work for you. We're all also individuals. And while we might care and connect with others, we have to be true to ourselves. And, it's not so much that we're nurtured as much as, I think in my family, in my culture, that's something that doesn't really exist. They're like, well, everyone else does it this way. You should be doing it this way. Plus, it's safer for you. It's like the road of least resistance. And so you're programmed this way. And the best way to get out of that is to program yourself. But they don't teach you that.
They certainly don't teach you how to deprogram because they got to keep you in the system.
Exactly. And so you don't even realize that that's an option. So, but once you have that inkling, I'm telling you that I'm telling everybody that it is an option. It's an option for everybody. So you can choose, and by all means, it's so comfortable to be in the hive mindset because you don't really have to think about anything. You just take the well-paved road, the road that everyone else has taken, the road that you can get feedback on, that, how was it for you? Okay, let me follow those steps, right? But you can change your programming. First, like, we program ourselves by what goes into our brains. And so you can choose to tune people out, the programming that you don't want, because it constantly gets reinforced in our commercials, in what people say to us, and it's very persistent. Also, programming through our words, like, what do we say to ourselves? We tend to do that. So shift that. And, that might be a struggle too. But also knowing what we want. Sometimes we don't know what we want, and it's hard to reprogram ourselves to go in a certain direction because we're like, this is too much freedom.
Right. I'll just sit on my ass all day long and just let the world pass by. It doesn't really happen like that. I thought that that's what I would do, but it doesn't really work that way. Yeah.
And, The Shawshank Redemption is one of my favorite movies. And they talk about this thing called being institutionalized, that mindset, right? And it's hard to go back out when you get your freedom and live a normal life because you don't know what to do. And it's one of the things that I'm actually experiencing now that I am working full time as an energy healer. And, you know, I got so much done when I was working 2 full-time jobs that when I have a little freedom, I almost feel lost. I almost feel like
Disorienting.
disoriented. That's the best word. And so really, really getting back to what I want, you know, and allocating the time that it takes to get there and to have the baby steps done. That's so important. You know, how important is my time? I give so much to my clients, but how much am I giving to myself? So making yourself a priority, and you know, that's part of the programming too. So there's so many other ways that you can incorporate also, um, you know, kind of rejecting some of the ancestral stuff, you know, stuff that your parents have told you, like what's happened through the generations doesn't have to continue if you don't want it to, right? You can create your own path and your own traditions, you know, just because everyone else, you know, had Christmas dinner at whatever doesn't mean you have to continue that. So there's so many things, and each little step is a brave step. So I don't want to minimize the little things, because a lot of little things get to the big goal, right? So, and that's what I'm doing. I'm a work in progress right now in actually, you know, walking my talk. And it, you know, I have to say it is a challenge, but I'm loving it. I'm figuring out who I am and how I want to reprogram myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. You know, it's interesting. You know, it's like the more work we do on ourselves, um, the more we tend to be like, I don't, wait a minute. No, I don't know. I don't know. Like, am I okay? Like what I've noted, I'm like, there was a sweet spot for about 2 years or so from my 20-year long career, about 2 years where I was like, I really fucking know what's going on. I know what's happening. I know what everybody's doing. Everything, we're good. I know what's going. And now it's like I dip back into, what am I putting back into my brain? What am I rehearsing? What's coming up? And it's like it's almost like having this built-in like like this thing, like, she knows. Hey, everybody, push the button on. She doesn't know. Just push that button. Just lay on that motherfucker. Let's just lay on the she will not know, doesn't know, never knew. Just dump it right on top of her. And that's exactly how I've been feeling lately. So if anybody can relate to that, write in the comments. Like, relatable. So I don't know. I think we're all just figuring it out, Yuson. I mean, we are that work in progress. And I think when we have like books like this, and other amazing texts and other people that come out from behind open doors, and you're like, where did you come from? You're like a breath of fresh air. You make my soul feel better. Like, what's going on with you? Like, having you girls here, it's like, I mean, I remember like both of you, when I first met Yuson, I was like, what is that? I love her. Like, what is going on? And then all of that transformation that I've gotten to watch over the years, of I saw that a little bit of, not a lot of that struggle, but just a little bit of that transmuting, shifting, going from corporate to your practice. And I'm like, I have been there, but you have done it, from what I've seen, very gracefully, with a ton of love, a ton of compassion. So I just thank you for being that example, even though I know there's some churning that does happen.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a never-ending thing, because once you get to your destination, there's always another destination.
Yeah, right. So true. And I love, Mel, what you had said when you said, I thought I was done. I mean, I thought, well, no, I was like, maybe I didn't get it. And then it comes back around and you're like, okay, wait a minute, but this one is really like not okay. You know, like we really need to do something about this. I love, how you were like, okay, I have no choice. This is happening. When you came to that realization, what did you notice about, other than that fight piece, energetically, that fight piece, what did you notice were contributing factors before the cancer appeared in your experience, where you're like, what choices were you making before that happened?
I realized, and so I call it being a positive negative. Okay. So people would always say to me, through this mindfulness, my new coaching technique. And, I used to just be like the physical personal trainer, bringing the that person. And I'm like, out here, I was always that person. But in here, there was a lot of negativity. There was a lot of doubt. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of worry. Basically, that's where all my thoughts were always kind of coming a place of, insecurities, all that stuff. So it was very heavy and very heavy. And I remember, like all these signs just kept coming to me like, you've got to fix this because I had gone with my best friend Holly to see, it was a little performance, and it was like a preacher, and then there was also like a gospel singer. So, and they were awesome. They were like these young women, they were just great, and I was loving it. But everybody's there and their hands are in the air, and I'm all like,
I'm not doing the hand thing. I'm not doing the hand thing. Stop it.
and then like a few minutes later, I'm like, why don't I do that? Like, I'm like, why can't I do that? Like what's happening? And like that, like the surrendering piece and the opening piece and the like just the freeing yourself piece. Just, like it just came to me like, you're not going to get out of this cancer battle if you can't bring yourself to be more open and let go of that protection mode. And, so it was very cool that something gave me the I guess the experience and the circumstances gave me the clarity to really pay attention to these things and work on them. And it was truly like there's so, like so many little gifts that came along the way. And if you're busy being heavy and you're busy with the squirrels in your head, you're missing all those signs. They're right there, but you're just too busy to even see them. So once I, just became a part of, being more comfortable in that place, I like allowing things to be. No. I'm from New Jersey. We make things happen. We get our shit done. We make it happen. We do it all over again, like 10 steps ahead of everything. And, learning like, no, you're not 10 steps ahead of anything. You need to back up, open up, and, just let it all in and see what sticks and see what works for you. And then just start it all over again. But one thing I wanted to mention when you just said earlier was like for about 2 years you felt like you were soaring, and then the dips. That's exactly what happened to me, and I'm like, great. Now I don't know how to do it anymore. Like, But then I read the greatest thing. The more mindful you become, the less mindful you feel. So now, So I will actually, like on those days where I kind of feel like a little bit of a, I like literally sit there and I'm like, wait a second. You did this, you did that, you did this, that was good, this was good, that was a good reaction. You didn't get defensive, you didn't get in protective mode. Like, you were able to, no response is a good response. You were able to
That's right.
but I have to like remind myself each day of all the good that I'm doing. If we don't check in with ourselves, we just we don't even appreciate all that we've learned.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect is the imposter syndrome. Dunning-Kruger is I learn a little bit and think I know everything. Imposter syndrome is I know a lot and I know enough that I realize I don't know. Um,
Right.
it's such a catch-22 because you look like an idiot to the Dunning-Kruger people.
Yeah.
The Dunning-Kruger people are like, well, you don't know. And it's like, but no, but I do. So I love that to just acknowledge our wins and keep one step in front of the other and go, well, they don't see me. That's okay. I know I can go to Mel, I can go to Yuson, and they will see me.
Yeah.
They'll
And
love me.
you get that little reboot.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that that's why it's important to have people in our experience, whether they're people that we read, like,
Right. Yeah.
or whether they're, YouTubes or whatever. It could be somebody randomly I was at a amusement park with Todd. I remember this. I don't know. How old am I? Let's see. 16 years ago, right? I was at an amusement park and this mom had a kid with her and there was another kid and the other kid ran off like they do. And then she just goes, follow Joy, and she like shouts it, follow Joy. And I'm like, I'm supposed to follow Joy. Okay, I do need that turkey leg. I do need that one more Budweiser. I do. That feels like joy to me right now. So it's everywhere, right? I mean, it's everywhere. And I love that. And we have those opportunities to be bold, even though at the time it can be kind of scary.
I love what you just said there too, is that we always need to lean on each other. And that's how I came to write the chapter in the book, is because I still seek, healing sessions from, people that have now become my friends who, also do coaching and different modalities. I still reach out. I still do my sessions. And that's where I get a lot of my clarity. And that, two of them had said to me, write something. You ever think of writing a book? And boom, there it was.
There
So
it
we
is.
never, it's something, a lot of times we think, like you had said earlier too, about like you read something and it's like, oh, I got this. And it's like, no, this is continuous.
Yeah.
This is a daily practice. And this is something that we need to keep, learning and growing and just keep, sparking that spark within us.
Yeah, so true, so true. Yusan, I just have one more question, or thought, or whatever, just to chat. When you decided that did you take baby steps out of kind of going, I know you're doing it this way, but I'm going to be doing it this way? What was some of the fallout from that? Just so people can be less scared of it, because sometimes we think we're doing something and it's like, I'm going to do it. And then people are like, I don't care. Like, fine, go do whatever, just leave. And then other people are like, no, don't go. What did you find with the fallout? And was anything like surprising for you where you were like, oh, that really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be?
That is a great question because when you do things that the collective knows about, that, you know, most of society is accepting of, then they're like, go for it. You know, they're so supportive. Like the majority of people are like, that makes sense. Do it. Right. But the minute that you go on to your own path, people are like, I don't get it. Is that right? Is that safe? I'm worried about you, Yuson. And then it really makes you question yourself. And, you know, that was something that I seriously had to overcome and get validation for myself. I got it through my body because, you know, if it felt right to me, and it was something that was for my highest and greatest good, I felt good. Like, you know, when the corporate world no longer felt good, I was getting a lot of anxiety just driving into work.
Yes.
That was a clear indicator to me that it was no longer serving me, even for the purposes of me holding on for, you know, safety, security, extra income, you know, that cushion. So intuition is like one of the best ways of validating things for yourself. And so I say, you know, everyone's born with it. We just don't know how to flex those muscles like going to the gym. But, you know, you'll find synchronicities. You'll find that you feel better when you make the right choices for yourself. And also, you know, when you're an outlier, you find that you don't have the kind of support system you thought you would. But getting together with other outliers, that's the best way. I'm an outsider. Me and Kyra. Like we're all, you know, very
all of us.
Of
these are a bunch of outsiders right here. All these people. All these people.
That's right. And it makes it okay because,
yeah,
you know, there are other people that will stand with you and they may not agree with you, but they know what you're going through. And, you know, we're just here to support one another. And that makes the world of difference too.
Yeah.
And that's the title of the book is amazing. Be bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were never meant to fit in. That one took me a minute to like, and then it was interesting. One of my friends goes, be bold. You were never meant to fit in. You're never meant to fit in. You mean I'm not meant to fit in? Oh yeah. I haven't been able to fit in my whole life. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I got it. you know? But there was like resistance to it at first, but it was it's interesting. Yeah.
And it was cool because that would have been me 10 years ago. And
yeah.
I read it and I instantly like breathed a sigh of relief. And I was like, I wasn't meant to fit in.
Oh.
Yeah, I fully embrace my own weirdo self.
Me too. Oh my gosh, I know. I remember when I was living in Illinois, and it was right when Todd and I started seeing each other, and I went and met his family. So Midwestern family. I'm from the South. It's a little different, but also the same. And I and one of the family members goes, "Oh, you know, hey, Kyra, what do you do? You know, what do you do there?" And I go, "I'm an energy worker." "Oh, you work for the light company then? You work for the light? You do the lighting for the? You work for the electric bill and stuff?" And I'm like, "Yep." Yep, that's what I do. I'm like, I can't, I don't know how to even. I'm like, I don't know. Do you have a sore knee? I could probably help you with that. But by the way, we're going to have to get in through your emotions first. Is that okay? Nope.
We don't have emotions.
Right. The board collective. We're just wildly disappointed. And are making you responsible for that disappointment.
Exactly.
Oh shoot, I could go on about this. Oh man, I used to be a colon hydrotherapist too, so that didn't land at all. You mean you're going to do what to what? I just work for the light company. I'm sorry, I went overboard. All right, guys. Well, I feel like this is our time. Let's just go ahead and anything you guys want to tell everyone, just let them know. you know, I think you guys are going to see me with Mel and Yuson, like maybe separately, because I just love these girls. And I know that you have gotten tremendous value of just connecting with them and connecting with their energy today. I feel significantly better than when I came on. And so I'm so grateful for you guys. Is there anything you'd like to leave our friends with? And then I'm going to do a quick drawing for a fabulous prize.
I just want to say, like, fear is like something that we've invented. So kick fear in the butt and just do it anyway, and take little steps, and everything is, you know, going to work out. So just know that.
Perfect.
Yeah, and after every one of my sessions, I always just, you know, sit with my clients, who will always become my friends. And I always just remind them to leave fear and doubt and worry behind, come into right here, right now, and live right here, right now from a place of love and gratitude and honesty. And for sure, you'll just start vibrating in that right direction.
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I think Mel, you have put in for offering something awesome, and I don't have it right in front of me. Do you remember what that was? And you can share it with those people who the winner.
A 1 hour session. Yeah. So there in the drawing, there's a 1 hour session with me, and basically, you know, working on mind, movement, and meditation, and just kind of seeing where you're at and what it is that I can help to, you know, just build upon for you, open things up, bring you some clarity. And really, my whole mission is to just bring comfort and peace into people's lives.
Beautiful. All right, I'm going to be all technology person. And I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I did it. Okay, so we are going to spin the wheel. All right, here we go. And I have where I have names and stuff.
Super cool. Very exciting.
There we go. 227. And I have that on my other screen of who is 227. It's going to be Nikki Corbolis. I can always say Nikki is a very good friend of mine. And I always say her name wrong. So Nikki is you're going to get to spend some time with Nikki. Nikki's going to get to spend some time with you. I'm very excited. This is going to be really good. So Nikki, congratulations. I'll be reaching out to you and I'll hook you girls up, and that's going to be great. And then finally, how can people reach you so that they can get sessions with you in the future, Mel and Yuson?
I would say the easiest way to reach me is my website. It's melsarmy.com. And all the way at the bottom, there's the contact information. So you could just feel free to reach out to me. So that's melsarmy.com.
Perfect.
And people can reach me at yusonshin.com and ask questions. And I think my business number is there too as well.
Perfect. All right. And I'm Kyra Schaefer. I've been your host today. Be Bold is out right now for free download on the Amazon. Please feel free to download it, give a review, you know, take a look at it, take your time with it, and reach out to the authors as well. Kyra Schaefer, Kyra-Schaefer.com. That's one way to reach me. And also As You Wish publishing.com. So again, thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining me. And this was so much fun. I greatly appreciate you.
Kyra, lots of gratitude to you. Thank you so much. And you, Mel.
Bye. Thank you so much. It was such a great afternoon. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.